I'm going to read my poem from this issue of Bedfellows. It's a part from a longer poem called Spring Calls Me a Dizzy Frybank. Spring calls me a dizzy Frybank, and the feelings sink straight to the sea of old troubled me, urgent to recall an April whipping into shape. Am trapped in a frame of mind that's useless. That's the real problem. It's fascinating that I've become my own condition. Praxis to failure, waning towards enclosure, moon-dropped and dipped wet tie-dye in the bathtub. Guinea-pigged and belittled by famous people. So much easier to fly the chicken out of the coop with a drone than get in there with your fingers. Prickly hairs everywhere, and microscopic pictures wrestle at the frames to unstuck the madness. You'll need epoxyless lust powder sprinkled on the fat carnage. I have a change sphere. Sense warped the shape between my lids. Look, your screaming colors are adult bystanders. Much easier to be our own enemy than to be guided by political figures' insistence on the dangers of faraway peoples that we don't actually live in direct contact with on a day-to-day basis. My fat hand dips a feeling in butter, a frog in the mud. It's hot between the air and my speaking lips. Can't fill the room with fumes unconsumed by us two. Oil, gases, sprays, polish, coat the air with evermore, fill my lungs with high shine. Later, spitting up blood. Must be for artistic venture. Can't be a capitalist and a neo-impressionist, or arch my spine with a regret so bold it too comes apart. To have intrepid gobs like flea beds interpreted as anger, where bits swell from internalized scratching of the mind, unscathed surface so appearance maintained? Not a casually caught up or revealed as separation, gut sauce separating from blood cells that look like effective policing of our personhoods, sorry about that. In fact, lucid transparency is so much bigger than the individual. Threaten the information on hand that some people are willing to die for. The poorer you are, the more fucked over you are, etc. Skin starts smoking, but it's just a feeling on the inside. A large tombstone sitting flat-centered on your chest. That is a filmic advertisement for anxiety. A center coated in ruin. Tragedy comes around to erase you. Some say arousal is a form of erasure, in that it distracts the mind from digesting the whole. It's not a case of what is liable to be held up in court. The prettiest lawsuits offer the biggest drama. People can be so terrible to one another. I like to be alive in the usual way and given to concrete obsessions. I like to feel the slip of coin on my tooth. I like to be inside myself, then turn inside out and digest the biosphere. I colored my hair with stones, soaked the hair out of my ash. I have 4 fake prismatic concerns, 5 bleed copper, and 6 eat wire. My flavor is raw metal. 7 o'clock. I stink at 8. It's the way my hands work the tools. 9 o'clock comes around and I'm still stringing. It's a lodge at 10 o'clock. A sweet tambourine rings my head into oblivion. Circumstances are surfacing. I stuck a whiskey-filled cup into my cup of water and the water was displaced, spilling onto the ground at the comedy show. Never filled it up. Let the booze drink me, shouldered my way to the hostess to tell her a long story about a coincidence in personal affairs. Sorta enters story here? No, probably not. She hugged me. That surprised me. But alas, I always want more. Wanted to feel truly connected, truly understood. Instead, felt like a stupid white girl. She'll never remember me. She's verified on Twitter and has 120K followers. Shit. What exactly happened? Life airs a fragmentary glow and starts to churn out a bunch of grapes for wine. Plumes a linty texture on the wooden barrel and circles a red sauce in its guise. Hideous boots stomp the grapes to juice, collect the red sauce, and make a ton of CO2 for you and us fuck-ups to drink. We drink the shit out of it, barely care about its branches. Frogs hop onto lily pads and don't kiss its surface to prince. Just rely on it for toad hopping or occasional dry surface in the sun. Like I lawn chair you to prop myself up. Wounded despite all belief, what is and is not popular, the music I've championed, the sport I've pressed against my breast. The night we interrupted a variety of songs, we were singing from our midsection. I came to poetry this way. Vessel abridged, music unhinged, like a conquistador debt without ties to any empire. Carry the loofah to remove the dead skin. Real people go to the desert alone. I should write a song about that, then sing it in the middle of this poem, home invasion style. Slightly tweak what has become of you and I. A bead of salt in your beard, the sign of aging well and staying empathetic. Still, we tie ourselves together to arrange something easy. We want it to be the best night out, full of relaxation and something that is new. The particular way to find a warped feeling that we keep returning to. You don't want to do your taxes. I gave the man all my money. We straddle the frame. Breaking down the next few months into threads of income becomes tiring. A week of resentments build. The weakest of all are emptiness. That's it. I didn't read it very good because I'm getting over a cold.